Look at this fog. I feel like I'm driving in twilight. Can't see anything. I have my brights on too. Does this not seem like a spooky movie? I kind of love it. Where am I headed to this foggy morning? I did go to my meeting, but I'm going to the farmer's market for some veggies because veggies these days in stores are just blah. But here they're actually pretty good. I think they're still setting up. So let's give them like a minute or two. Just as if they can complete setting up in a minute. All these eggplants. I haven't seen them this skinny before. Eggplants, sweet potatoes, winter melon. Some sweet potatoes. These are really small, really convenient for like one meal. Look at these cauliflowers. I don't eat cauliflower, but I want to get it just because of the pretty colors. This lighting is not amazing, but the show must go on. Welcome back, everyone, to another weigh-in video. That's some good stuff. What am I drinking? Okay, you know that page, the Macro Barista? Dude posts like, why is it sounding all weird? Anyways, I was having a not good hair day, so I just put that on. But the dude posts like really low point drink hacks from Starbucks and sometimes Dunkin' as well. They'll be like around 2 or 3 points. So I'm like, I can finally drink at Starbucks. But yeah, he posts like low point drinks. This is a grande. This is a hack. These days he's doing holiday hacks. So it's the praline whatever. It's a grande tradition. Grande misto with almond milk, 2 pumps of chestnut praline syrup, praline topping, 2 Splenda. Did I say 2 or 1 Splenda? I don't know, but it works. It's pretty good. So I'll link that in the description box below. Sometimes I get like lipstick all here when I'm like eating or drinking, but that's not what you guys want to know. You want to know what my meeting day results are. First of all, happy last day of Hanukkah. I heard that today's the last day of Hanukkah, or tomorrow Sunday is, but happy Hanukkah. I hope you had a great holiday season. And I just hope that it was a really fun, happy whatever that word is. I hope it was a great one anyways. So yeah, happy Hanukkah. So I got on the scale this morning and here we go. I know, look. It's hard not to get excited about this, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, maybe it's a fluke. And maybe next week it'll be like plus 1.3. And it's like, oh, so I'm not trying to get my hopes too high, but I'm going to take this win. I'm going to revel in this awesomeness. It didn't come out of anything good. I was not eating last week, as I talked about in my last weigh-in video. My mom's going through some issues. We found out it's psychosis. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful. Thank you guys for your prayers and thank you for your well wishes. Like, okay, so the whole process happened so fast like that. We found out it's psychosis, it's not schizophrenia, and she got she saw a psychiatrist right away because he's my cousin's husband. So yeah, he was able to like video chat with her. But the thing is, he couldn't prescribe her the medicine because the state he lives in, he lives in a different state. So he wasn't allowed to like prescribe anything in California, which I didn't know that was a thing. Like, I didn't know doctors weren't allowed to, but it makes sense. And I'm actually thankful for that. Like, I don't want anyone from, I don't know. It just makes sense. So that was pretty good. And then so the next day we went to my mom's general primary doctor, and she's so like, it takes a while to get an appointment from her, but thank God they were like, yes, can you come in at 1:30? And I was like, yes. And so we just went, and she like prescribed it. They needed a doctor, like a doctor's right off. So she was nice enough to give that. So things are looking, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So, but I was really stressed out this whole week. I wasn't eating anything. That's me. Like, I don't stress eat. I do the opposite. My body shuts down. I don't want to eat anything. I don't have an appetite. So I wasn't eating. And the funny thing is, like, my stomach was rumbling and I was like, I'm so hungry, but I could not force anything down my throat. Like it was just a mess. And then finally when I saw like, okay, my mom's like doing better, and I don't know, I started eating a little bit more. I went to Disneyland because I was like, you know, you got to take care of yourself. When things like this happen, you have to take care of yourself because you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. So I was like, all right, well, let me go to Disneyland and like, you know, get in that happy zone. And I had fries yesterday. Yeah, I'll admit, I had fries yesterday. So, but I'm still down 2.4. Yay. But now I feel like I'm right where I need, like, I feel like I can just get right back on track. We're gonna have a little talk about that word, on track, in a bit, but just for right now, I'm gonna say I'm happy to be like back on track and back. Sorry, I just saw my arms. I'm like, ooh. But yeah, I'll sit like this. But yeah, I know what to do to get back onto the program, blah, 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 whatever. So anyways, what did he talk about today? Oh, happy 4th day of Vlogmas. There we go. Vlogmas day 4. Yay. So anyways, what did he talk about? Hold on. I'm like, okay, it's fine. So he talked about worth it foods. Now, there are foods where you're like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to eat this. I know it's high in points. I know it's like the heaviest thing ever. Totally worth it. So identifying what foods those are. So how do you identify what's a worth it food? So he was like asking everyone, people are giving their opinions. And so here are some of the things, here are some of the notes from the meeting. So worth it food that comes around once a year. For me, it's the cranberry bliss bar from Starbucks. I can't get that any other time of the year. So this year, heck yeah, I eat that. I eat that every Sunday. Don't know what the points are. Don't want to know what the points are. And I enjoy it. And I'm losing. So that's totally a worth it food. Sorry, I'm just like looking at myself like, hello. Yeah, I look tired. That's because I am. I haven't been sleeping. So it's fine. But yeah, so that's totally a worth it food. Girl Scout cookies, whatever comes around just once in a while, once a year, during that holiday, associated with that holiday, totally a worth it food. Does it taste good? That's another thing. There's lots of foods out there that have all the bells and whistles and the sparkles and the sprinkles and all that good stuff. And it looks amazing and it looks mouth-watering. And then you have a bite and you're like, no, thank you. But I'm going to still keep eating it. He said, my leader said that on a grading scale, it has to be an A. So it has to be like a 9.5 or a 10 for it to be like a worth it food. And let's see, what else did they say? For me, oh, I just thought of this right now. To me, I would say a worth it food is like a food that you have to pause everything and just eat. It's not a food that you're like sitting there and you're putting on like that show on Netflix and you have to have like that no, it's like, everyone shut up, let me focus on this one little treat and I will not enjoy it if everyone keeps talking. I need to be alone by myself and like you're really focusing on it and having that treat and it's like, oh my god, that to me is a worth it food. A worth it food. What else were they saying? They said, so like if someone that you love dearly made it for you, even if it's not like the best tasting thing, if someone made it for you, like let's say your kid cooked something or like your grandma cooked something or someone along those lines and you eat it and maybe it's like really high in points or whatever, that could be a worth it food. So it's just this holiday season, identifying what is yours. So like certain breads, certain foods, they're gonna be around all year, you know, like those Hawaiian rolls. It's not like you can't get them after January 1st. Oh no, yes you can. Or like things of that nature. There's a lot of things that you can get after January 1st. So that might not be a worth it food because it's like you can literally have this whenever. Instead, use this time to eat these foods that aren't available in like February, that aren't available in the summer, that you can only get right now. So I was like, that's a great idea. That's what I'm doing. did you guys know that Starbucks always has the peppermint? Because I went once and I was like, oh, what syrups do you guys have? And she's like, blah, 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 blah. And we have peppermint. And I'm like, peppermint in summer? I don't know if that was just my Starbucks and they just always have it or what's going on. But yeah, so that's how we identify worth it foods. Again, it's the holiday season. Eat, treat yourself, but you know, oh, another thing they said was, how do you feel after? How do you feel after you have this? I'm like trying to make sure my posture is good. How do you feel after you have these worth it foods? Like after you eat it, what's your feeling? Do you feel guilty? Don't feel guilty about anything. It's just food. But do you feel guilty? How are you going to feel when you get on the scale? How are you going to feel when you go to the doctor's office? How are you going to feel when you try on those pants? You know, like, was that worth it? Worth it foods. There we go. All foods are good foods. There's no such things as bad foods or like fattening foods. Now about derailing. So he brought this up and I thought this was a really good point. When we say we're off tracks, we're off the tracks, that comes from the analogy of trains, right? Trains get off tracks. What happens when a train does get off track? Like people, this is what he said. He said like people die. There's insurance adjusters there. There's like the news, the media. There's a whole there. It's a huge mess if a train does get off track. We are not off track. We are on track. Maybe we're slow. Maybe we're completely stopped. Maybe we're reversing. Maybe we've gone on another track, but we are on track. We are not off track. Being off track means you've completely quit. You've just thrown all caution in the wind. You're like, whatever. You quit Weight Watchers, Noom, whatever program you're doing. You quit doing that. You quit going to meetings. You quit weighing yourself. You quit doing everything that you have learned and you just stopped it all together. And you're gaining the weight back. You're going back to you're back on medication. You're back to square one. That's going off tracks. But we're not off track. No, we eat 10 points more a day. That's not going off track. We have an entire piece of cake instead of a couple bites. That's not going off track. Going off track means completely being done with it. So I think we're all doing great. I think we are definitely on track. We're doing awesome. So I think we should be proud of ourselves. Give ourselves a pat on the back. We're doing great. Hold on. I'm 5.2 away from goal. Can I do it this year? I don't know if I'm going to do it this year. Okay, I'm going to set something else. Before Valentine's Day, I want to be at goal. I think that's totally doable, right? I think this video has gone on long enough. So, enough rambling. Hope you guys had a great Hanukkah if you celebrate it. Hope you guys will have a great Christmas season if you celebrate it, Kwanzaa if you celebrate it, whatever you celebrate. I hope it's a good one. And just remember, we're not off track. We might have slowed, we might have gone in reverse. We are not off track. You are not off track. And just have a wonderful day. Tomorrow I will do a little apple pie type thing recipe. It's like the easiest thing in the world. It's not a real apple pie, but I'll show you guys. So subscribe if you want to see that. Like this post, like this video for this loss, and comment what you guys would like to see for Vlogmas. Let me know what are worth it foods for you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 5. Day 4 is in the books. Bye-bye, folks.